Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. And to all the assembled devotees here, this is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to assembled devotees. This is Radha from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devidasi from Krishna Katadesh. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Nandarani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai. This is Jivani from Ashram, Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Shivani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you, everyone.
Mataji, wait. Don't stop. Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shyamaguri Devidasi from Charlotte. And Mataji, I have an announcement. Gaur Purnima is coming up, so we are starting our Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. From today we wanted to start, but we didn't make announcement yesterday. So maybe if we have little time, Mataji will just set up the background, what we are going to do and what the places we are going to see in next 9 days. So thank you so much, and stick to the Bhakti Sangha conference call to go to Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for that.
Yes, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Yasnam Bandlivati. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Valli Mataji. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Dandavat Pranam. Okay, I would welcome all of you once again to today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. So today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Jivana Gaurahari Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of glories of Jagannath Das Babaji, Rasikananda, Madhavindrapuri. So before I hand over call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji to give a brief introduction. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are so very fortunate this morning to have with us His Grace Jivana Gaurahari Prabhu. He is a senior disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and has been associated with ISKCON for the past 22 years. Every year, he takes hundreds of devotees on pilgrimage on yatra to Mayapur and Puri Dhams. Prabhuji is proficient in Tamil. His articles are regularly published in the Tamil edition of Back to Godhead magazine. His online classes in Tamil on Chaitanya Leela attracts numerous devotees worldwide. He also serves as the sector leader for the South Chennai zone with more than 25 Bhakti Vriksha groups. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhuji. So lovely to take your association again.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
I think Prabhuji got dropped off the meeting.
Okay. Meanwhile, if anyone would like to introduce themselves, they can introduce.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Maybe we can chant, Mataji.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram
Ram Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Hari Krishna Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for all of you for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. So today we are really fortunate to have Jivana Gaurahari Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of glories of Rasikananda, Jagannath Das Babaji and Madhavendrapuri. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you are there on the call.
Yes, Mataji, he's there. He got dropped off again. I don't know.
I think maybe signal is very bad.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari
Ram Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna.
Hari Krishna Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna
Ram Hare Hare.
Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Hari
Hare Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna Ram Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Hari Krishna
Ram Hare
Ram Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hari Hari
Ram
Ram Hari Hari Krishna Ram Hari Hari
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram Hari Hari
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Prabhu, are you able to?
Yes, Mataji. Now I am audible. There was some internet issues.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept all of our this or Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. And now I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Nananjana-salakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namavo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatyate Sadarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who have assembled here to hear about the glories of Madhavindrapuri, to hear about the glories of Rasikananda Prabhu, to hear about the glories of Jagannath Das Babaji, and also about Purushottam Das Thakur. We all know that Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of Chaitanya Charitamrita, has mentioned that the glorious pastimes of our previous Acharya are so potent that it can take us back home, back to Godhead. Madhavendrapuri, he is considered to be the treasure house of Krishna Prem. So we'll be starting with the glorious pastimes of Madhavendrapuri, because our parampara, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, starts from Madhavendrapuri. Madhavendrapuri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told 3 times that I belong to Vasudeva Datta. He told 3 times that I came to this world because of the call made by Advaita Acharya. And he also mentioned 3 times that the treasure house of Krishna Prem root is Madhavendrapuri. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Ishwarapuri as the spiritual master, because Ishwarapuri did menial service to Madhavendrapuri. Madhavendrapuri, he came to Govindakund at Govardhan. So he sat under a banyan tree. He was meditating on Krishna. At that time, Krishna appeared as a cowherd boy. And then he gave a pot full of milk Madhavendrapuri, he avoids begging because those who are in the renounced order, they do madhukari. But he was so detached, Madhavendrapuri, that he avoided begging completely. Whatever come of its own accord, he will accept it. That's all. And Madhavendrapuri asked Krishna, how did you know that I am fasting? He told that cowherd woman, they are coming here daily to fetch water, and they gave us the news. And then he gave pot full of milk. Then he suddenly disappeared. But Madhavendrapuri, due to Yogamaya, didn't understand that it was Krishna. He drank that pot full of milk. After that, on that day, night, he had a dream in which Krishna said that I am lying in the below the earth, below the bushes, that I was personally worshipped by a priest. But when the Muslims attacked, he abandoned me, and you have to get out me from here. And this is the Govinda Kund, Govardhan, where actually, if you go for Govardhan Parikrama, there is a place called as Jatipura. This Jatipura is the place where Madhavendrapuri lived. Mataji, can you see the slides?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So then he was living here in Govinda Kund, Govardhan. So this pastime happened here. So Madhavendrapuri had first dream of Krishna here at Jatipura in Govardhan. Then with the local people, Madhavendrapuri, he collected all the help from the local people, and then he started to dig out the deity from the earth, and then he took out the deity, and then Madhavendrapuri, after taking deity, there were around 900 pots of cold water that was used for bathing Krishna, because Krishna told in the dream that I am feeling very hot. And the standard deity worship started from here, and whatever in ISKCON we perform deity worship for any festival, the conch is blow, then actually we have the Abhishek ceremony, and then the Pushpaka ceremony, and then the ingredients for worshipping the deity. That standard we get it from Madhavendrapuri. So whatever the standard Madhavendrapuri set for worshipping Govinda, Gopal deity, that is still being practiced in ISKCON. So we all know that Gopal, he appeared first time to Madhavendrapuri at when he was doing his bhajan at Jatipur. The same deity which called whom Madhavendrapuri worshipped, Krishna told that I am the same person who lifted Govardhan, and you have to worship me. So still now in Govardhan, we can find the Gopala Prakrita Stali. That is the exact place where Madhavendrapuri found the Gopal deity. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't step into the mountain of Govardhan because Govardhan is non-different from Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they don't put their leg on Govardhan. So the installation of Gopal deity happened. It was a big ceremony. The local villagers could understand the potency of Madhavendrapuri because suddenly he appeared from nowhere. He engaged them in the service, and then there were lots of pots of water being bathed, and then sandalwood, and then all the archana process happened. There was heavy kirtan, and immediately they could understand how Madhavendrapuri is very powerful. He could give love for Krishna, the Bhakti Sakti. Jivas in the material world and Jivas in the spiritual world, what is the difference? Jivas in the material world, they don't have the Chit Sakti. What is the Chit Sakti? It is the Hiladri Sakti, it is the Sambit Sakti, and it is the Sandini Sakti. All three combined is Chit Sakti. So in the spiritual world, all the Jivas, they are integrated, embedded with Chit Sakti. So it means that they are full of knowledge, and then they are aware of their existence, and then they are always blissful. In the material world, the Chit Sakti is missing. It means that the real identity is not known. Everyone feels here in the material world that he is the material body, and it is full of suffering. And these personalities like Madhavendrapuri, they have come here to spread this Bhakti Sakti. So devotional service means it's actually mercy of the devotees. The Bhakti Sakti comes to the material world only by the mercy of the devotees. Devotee in general means pure devotee. So Madhavendrapuri, he actually distributed love for Krishna, because Vrajavasis, they are naturally endowed with love for Krishna, but still the potency and the presence of Madhavendrapuri was such a way that everyone could feel the presence of Krishna there. So the installation of Gopal deity happened here. Then he had a second dream, Madhavendrapuri. The second dream, the Gopal deity informed that I am feeling very hot. You have to go to Jagannath Puri and then take sandal paste from Jagannath Puri and you have to come here. So after finishing all the standards of deity worship by Madhavendrapuri, engaging all the local residents, he was actually ordered and instructed to travel to Jagannath Puri, which is thousands of kilometers. And at that time, there was no mode of conveyance. So Madhavendrapuri traveled by foot. So personal service, no one should give up. And it was also the personal instruction of the deity. So he traveled from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri via Shantipur. So he had a second dream. First dream is actually the Gopal deity told him to take out of the earth. Second dream, the same Gopal deity informed him that you have to bring sandalwood from Jagannath Puri here to Govardhan. So on the way, generally it is told like will of the providence. Will of the providence means will of Krishna. Madhavendrapuri met Advaita Acharya at Shantipur. Advaita Acharya could immediately understand the glories of Madhavendrapuri. Ishwarapuri is disciple of Madhavendrapuri. Advaita Acharya is disciple of Madhavendrapuri. And Advaita Acharya, he used to talk about Krishna Katha for days and days. Still Madhavendrapuri remained at Shantipur. And that's why Advaita Acharya celebrated the disappearance day of Madhavendrapuri in a very elaborate manner. That is the Govinda Dwadasi that comes this March 15th. A great Shantipur festival is held where more than 40,000 people attend this festival. And Mahaprabhu, when he came to Shantipur, seeing the gorgeous festival arranged by Advaita Acharya on Govinda Dwadasi, he immediately gave a boon that whoever comes here and observes this festival, they will get love for Krishna. So March 15th this year, 2022, we have a great Shantipur festival. Thousands of devotees participate in this festival and more than 40,000 local people participate here. And this festival, you all know that ISKCON devotees from Mayapur, they come in 40-50 buses. They make this Kichadi Prasad right from morning to evening. Devotees are engaged in the seva, hundreds of buckets and then hundreds of tomato chutney buckets. Devotees are very eager to serve the devotees. One time, because we know that in and around the Shantipur, those villages have only population of hardly 4,000. But how do we get 40,000 during this festival? So Jayapataka Swami Maharaj told that even the demigods in the disguise of human being come and then partake this prasad at Shantipur. Pure devotees know, even if they are disguised. And one time Jayapataka Swami Maharaj told that if you he told in a humorous way, if you want to know, has the demigod descended here to partake this prasad, you should observe closely that the feet does not touch the ground and there will be a fragrant smell. Sometimes the devotee, while they were serving prasad, they used to inhale in a more heavily manner, such a way that whether they could have fragrance of any people coming here. Anyhow, that is well known that demigods still come here in the form of a human being to partake this prasad. This is the glory of observing Madhavendrapuri disappearance. And Madhavendrapuri, we all know that after he traveled from Govardhan to Jagannath Puri, he had to carry several mound of sandalwood and a camphor, and he carried it personally. But the king of Jagannath Puri, he gave some assistance, and then he gave all facilities. At that time also there was a toll. Then again he carried those sandalwood as well as powder as well as the camphor to Vrindavan via Ramuna. So when Madhavendrapuri came to Ramuna, again he had a third dream. The Gopal deity informed him that the Gopinath deity at Ramuna is not different from me. I have somehow arranged a sandalwood paste for me here at Govardhan. No need for you to carry that sandalwood paste here back to Govardhan. You better engage in the service of my deity form at Ramuna, Gopinath. Gopinath is not different from Gopal. So he had a third dream. And in the third dream, he finalized that he has to stay at Ramuna. Ramuna is Gupta Vrindavan. Because we will be also seeing about the glories of Ramuna deity also, or Chief Chora Gopinath. Anyhow, what is the significance of Madhavendrapuri? Why actually our Sampradaya starts from Madhavendrapuri? Brahma Madhva Sampradaya means Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, then it goes Lakshmi Tirtha and it has a separate wing. From Lakshmi Tirtha, Madhavendrapuri, Ishwarapuri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Goswamis, there is one more wing, branch. Madhavendrapuri's identity in Goloka Vrindavan is Kalpa Vriksha. Kalpa Vriksha means when the divine couple Radha and Krishna are engaged in the very amorous conjugal pastime, no one can see it. Even the gopis, they will not enter into the bushes. Even the manjaris, they also sometimes don't enter. The only witness for all the pastimes of Radha Krishna is only the Kalpa Vriksha trees. And that same Kalpa Vriksha descended into this material world as Madhavendrapuri. So that's why the love for Radha Krishna cannot be hidden from Madhavendrapuri. That's why Mahaprabhu told that he is actually the treasure house for Krishna Prem. And whoever came into the orbit of Madhavendrapuri, they all attained the love for Krishna. And Madhavendrapuri came to this Shirachora Gopinath temple, Ramuna. So one more question may also arise. Like Krishna is called as Makanchor in Vrindavan. In Ramuna, he is called as Chirachor. Chor means thief. Technically, why Krishna is called as thief? Because when bhog is offered, Krishna has the full right to eat the bhog. But after eating the bhog, devotees have the full right to enjoy it. But here, the bhog, the kheer, after it was offered to Gopinath, after he enjoyed it, he left it for the enjoyment of the devotees. But for Madhavendrapuri, he stole that kheer. That's why he is called as thief. Actually, Mahaprasad is relishable only by devotees. Mahabhog, Rajbhog is relished by Krishna. But after taking bhoga, again he is stealing the same thing which he has eaten. That's why he is called as thief. So this is the entrance of Chirchor Gopinath. Madhavendrapuri came here and then he worshipped Gopinath deity. So this is the Ramana temple. So here ISKCON is also building a gorgeous temple. And this is the Chirchor Gopinath deity. The center portion is Gopinath deity. And we have Radha Krishna and Madan Mohan deity. After that, actually, this two additional deities they have also installed. So this condensed milk, that is called as Amrita Keli. When Madhavendrapuri was worshipping this Gopinath deity, he was just thinking and meditating without being asked. If someone gives this Amrita Keli to him, he can taste it and then he can make the same preparation to Krishna, I mean the Gopal deity. At that time, that was taken into account. Then the Pujari came and then he offered 12 big pots of Amrita Keli, and then the curtain was closed. Again, he took back, but Gopinath took one part for his devotee, Madhavendrapuri, because Madhavendrapuri has ecstatic love for Krishna. Whatever pure devotees desire, that will happen. Whatever Prabhupada desires, that will happen. Whatever Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur desires, that will happen. Mahaprabhu decided that every town and villages will chant my holy name. That is sure to happen. So Madhavendrapuri desired. So Gopinath deity stole the kheer, Amrita Keli. And this was unnoticed by the Pujari. Again, in the dead night of the dream, Gopinath informed the Pujari that I have stolen one pot for my dear devotee, Madhavendrapuri. You can open my altar and then take it. By tricks, you didn't see it, but now you can see it, and then you have to find my devotee and you have to hand over the Amrita Keli to Madhavendrapuri. So it was the dead night, midnight. The Pujari opened the altar, took the Amrita Keli. Madhavendrapuri sat under a tree. He was meditating because Madhavendrapuri is a completely detached person. He is indifferent to the mundane thoughts. He knows none other than the loving devotional service of Radha Krishna. So he was completely detached. Detachment in the sense means actually our philosophy is that completely absorbed and getting attached to Krishna is detachment. No need to make separate effort for detachment. So the Pujari also found the key. Then again he was calling out the name Madhavendrapuri, Madhavendrapuri, Madhavendrapuri. Then Madhavendrapuri told his identity. Then he told the story that actually this pot of kheer has been personally stolen by the deity and I am giving it to you by his order. Madhavendrapuri was embarrassed because he thought that actually I have committed an offense, because even before the deity could taste it, I just decided that I have to taste it for making better preparation for the Gopala deity. Anyhow, this news started to spread. Madhavendrapuri didn't want to stay there. He again wanted to go to another place. But before even going to that place, the glory started to spread. Because in devotional service, humility is very, very important. But at the same time, if a person wants name and fame, then naturally Krishna makes him humble. But here Madhavendrapuri is so humble. He knows that if he stays in a place for more than a night, then his glory will spread everywhere. And he was keeping on changing his place. But even before he went to the other place, his glory was spreading. So if we don't want anything, just we want only love for Krishna, Krishna actually gives glories to his devotees. And this is personally actually we can see in the pastimes of Madhavendrapuri. And also the deity, he also spoke to Madhavendrapuri telling that I am observing you. So it means that Krishna is observing all the jivas. Reciprocation means not personally appearing only in the dream or in the physical presence. Observing all our activities and then being pleased, that is also reciprocation, especially for devotees who are all doing sadhana. They should feel that all the activities are personally observed by Guru and Krishna, and he is certainly pleased. By this attitude of thought, we should know that actually the Guru and the Krishna is reciprocating to all the sadhakas, whether they be in any stage of devotional service. So the glorious pastimes of Madhavendrapuri is unlimited. And we all know even now in Remuna, the condensed milk kheer that is available in different pot sizes. And taking prasad can be taken in enjoying mode or for the matter of honoring it or for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So here, Madhavendrapuri, after taking kheer, he broke the pot, and the broken pieces he actually tied in his chadar. Daily he used to partake that prasad for the pleasure of Krishna. Yashya prasado bhagavat prasado. So prasad should be taken as a pleasure to Guru and Krishna. So we all understood that how Madhavendrapuri personally traveled to Puri by foot. And that is appreciated by Guru and Krishna. Sometimes devotees take personal risk or extra effort in pleasing Guru and Krishna. Certainly, Guru and Krishna reciprocate accordingly. Because as a matter of duty, we can do devotional service. As a matter of gratitude, we can take personal risk. As a matter of gratitude, we can make extra effort to come out of the material zone to please Guru and Krishna. And that is certainly observed. We can see in the pastimes of Madhavendrapuri. And this is actually, when we enter the temple, this is the portion. And this is also the pastime place of Rasikananda Prabhu, whom we will be hearing, because in this place, Ramana only, Rasikananda Prabhu disappeared, and his final pastimes also took place. Behind the Ramana temple, that is behind the Shirachora Gopinath temple, we can also find the Samadhi of Madhavindrapuri. So just hardly 5 minutes travel from this place. Ramana actually has many more significance, because Madhavendrapuri stayed here till the end of his life and served Gopinath Deity. The final pastimes of Rasikananda Prabhu also took place. Lord Chaitanya, when he came here, he fainted many times reciting the verse Ayidina Dayardra Natha here, that we will be also seeing. And just 9 kilometers from this place is Mayurgram, Sridhara Swami, because the most famous Acharya, Sridhara Swami, his appearance place is also here. So this is actually the Madhavendrapuri Murti. We can see that. And there was a Pujari. Whenever ISKCON devotees go there, he encourages all the devotees to do Harinam Sankirtan. But recently, a couple of years before he passed away, here actually the Madhavendrapuri Samadhi is located in Ramana. And also there we can find the Padukas of Madhavendrapuri. We can still worship the Padukas, because the lotus feet of the pure devotee, the dust and the water washing the dust, they are considered to be the glorious activity for any Vaishnava or Vaishnavi to partake it to advance in spiritual life. So Lord Chaitanya, when he came to Ramana, he was telling the pastime how Madhavendrapuri is glorious in all the 14th world. No one can be compared to the fortune of Madhavendrapuri, because here Gopinath personally stole the condensed milk for Madhavendrapuri. Lord Chaitanya, he relished this pastime. He fainted many times. And this sloka, every Gaudiya Vaishnava should by heart it, because Madhavendrapuri recited this verse again and again till the end of his material existence. Material existence means Madhavendrapuri had a spiritual body. We can say till he disappeared from our material vision. Ayidina dayardra nata he, matura nata kadovalokeshe, hridayam tvadaloka kataram, dayita brahmyati kim karom yaham. Ayidina dayardra nata he, matura nata kadovalokeshe, hridayam tvadaloka kataram, dayita brahmyati kim karom yaham. Ayidina dayardra nata he, Mathura Nata Kadovalokeshe, Hridayam Tvaddaloka Kataram, Dayita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. Because this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. She said, "Oh my Lord Krishna, you are the merciful master, master of Mathura. When shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my heart gets agitated and it has become unsteady. My beloved one, what shall I do now?" So this is actually the longing mode. This is actually the hankering mode. This is actually the separation mode. This mood of Srimati Radharani, Madhavendrapuri recited again. Mahaprabhu, when he came along with Lord Chaitanya, when he came along with Lord Nityananda and his associates, Lord Chaitanya He was so ecstatic. He didn't even recite the full verse. He was able to recite only Ayidina, then he fainted. Then again, when he came to external consciousness, Ayidina, again he fainted. Again, when he came to external consciousness, again he recited Ayidina, he again fainted. So this sloka everyone has to by heart. It is very, very important sloka. And actually Mahaprabhu came to this world to give this love for Krishna, this ecstatic love for Krishna, this separation mood from Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the goal is considered to be the highest because their goal is not getting free from sin. Their goal is not getting free, to attain liberation. Their goal is not to attain Vaikuntha Lauga. Their goal is only to attain Vipralamba Bhava, separation mode. And that is the highest ecstasy and bliss given by Lord Chaitanya. Very, very, because Lord Chaitanya, he was able to recite only this 2 words, Ayidina. And this is the place Mayurgram. It is hardly 9 kilometers from Ramuna. And actually, when we went to that village, you can see the murti of Sridhara Swami. Sridhara Swami we can find from Srimad Bhagavatam, many places, Srila Prabhupada referring the commentary of Sridhara Swami. So when he was in the householder life, he was contemplating to take sannyas, but was hesitating because he had a small child. At that time, a lizard fell from the rooftop to the floor. At that time, it was actually a baby lizard. Immediately, it stretched its tongue, and then an insect went into his mouth. Then immediately, Sridhara Swami came to the conclusion, oh, for all living entities, the food is already predestined and ordained by Krishna, but I falsely think that I am maintaining my wife and children. Then he immediately took sannyas. Sridhara Swami ki jai, because Lord Chaitanya liked the commentary of Sridhara Swami. Sridhara Swami, the glory of Sridhara Swami commentary is that even the negative aspect, even if the asuras blasphemy wrongly about Krishna, Sridhara Swami used to say that what they told is correct, but actually it is meant to say this like that. He used to make commentary. Very nice to hear commentary of Sridhara Swami. So then Rasikananda Prabhu, we will also hear about the glorious pastimes of Rasikananda Murari. Rasikananda Prabhu, he is actually a Vishnu Tattva. So he was also born in Odisha, and he had his spiritual master, Shyamananda Prabhu. And Rasikananda Prabhu, right from his childhood, he did many miracles. Among the associates of Lord Chaitanya, if we want to count one specific associate who have done more miracles, it is none other than Rasikananda. But all the associates of Lord Chaitanya, their activities are transcendental and miraculous only because when they give to all jivas love for Krishna, that is miracle. But Rasikananda Prabhu, because at that time, Odisha was considered to be very bad because people in the adjoining state, they used to say that Odisha people are most degraded, plundered by dacoits and then ruled by dacoit kings like that. So Odisha was considered to be the most degraded place at that time. And we can find that Rasikananda along with Shyamananda preached vigorously in Odisha, and the dacoits, the kings, the mlechas, the Muslims, the Loban, whomever Rasikananda Prabhu met, he gave love for Krishna. And this Gopi Vallapur, this is the headquarters of Rasikananda Prabhu. Here actually Shyamananda Prabhu told to Rasikananda Prabhu that this should be your headquarters. So though he had his birth near the river Suvarna Rekha, then after he got married, Rasikananda Prabhu, his wife was also initiated by Shyamananda Prabhu. The initiated name is Shyamadasi. So they both came here, and this was the personal residence. And here there is the Gopi Vallabharai, the Govindarai deity, personal worshipable deity of Rasikananda Prabhu. Rasikananda Prabhu did miracles when actually he was bitten by a snake. He was doing Nama Sankirtan and he was going to another village. Only the tooth of snake, it got stuck in the foot of Rasikananda Prabhu, but nothing happened to him. And we all find that in case of Prahlad, here Rasikananda, and also Garuda Pandit. Garuda Pandit, he is also a close associate of Lord Chaitanya. Whenever they were bitten by a poisonous animal or a reptile, nothing happened to them because of the spiritual body they had. Anyone could do miracles on that. And there was one more disciple called as Murari Chaitanya. He used to meditate below the water for 2 days consecutively. How is it possible? Because they had a spiritual body. So these pastimes all happened here. Gopi Vallabharai. Rasikananda Prabhu, along with his spiritual master Shyamananda Prabhu, they used to hear Krishna Katha. And Shravanam is very, very important. When Harikatha Shravanam happens, actually there should be pin drop silence. Rasikananda Prabhu is already engrossed in love for Krishna. But one time when Shyamananda Prabhu and Rasikananda Prabhu were hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Rasikananda Prabhu actually turned his face and he was seeing somewhere. Then Shyamananda Prabhu actually kicked Rasikananda Prabhu while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Why you are unnecessarily turning your face here and there? So this is to illustrate lesson to us actually how we should attentively hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Rasikananda Prabhu is an elevated devotee, but still, like how Arjuna was taught Bhagavad Gita, in order for the mankind to get benefited, Shyamananda Prabhu, he kicked once Rasikananda Prabhu to give lesson to the conditioned souls, how attentive they should be in hearing Krishna Katha. And these paintings also we can see that. And actually one more nice pastime also happened. There was an elephant. It was that the province was ruled by Ahmad Beg. Rasikananda Prabhu came to meet Ahmad Beg. At the time there was a wild elephant. It was running, and then whomever came there, whether it is cattle or any other domestic animals or people, it will crush all of them under its feet. Then immediately Ahmad Beg told to Rasikananda Prabhu, you are worshipping Narayana. I don't accept Narayana as supreme, but if you could tame this wild elephant, then I could accept that Narayana is supreme personality of God. But Rasikananda Prabhu, he himself is Narayana and Vishnu. Then Rasikananda Prabhu, he was standing in the middle of the road. That wild elephant came as fast before Rasikananda Prabhu, like and when it came near to Rasikananda Prabhu, like a skating man, it just it was skating, and then before Rasikananda Prabhu came, immediately Rasikananda Prabhu started to give instruction to this elephant, and then this elephant bowed before Rasikananda Prabhu 108 times, and this was witnessed by the people and also by the king Ahmad Beg, and everyone became a staunch devotee of Rasikananda Prabhu. But the most important thing is that Rasikananda Prabhu actually gave special instruction to the elephant. Actually, in the story, if we read, okay, he gave instruction to elephant, but actually elephant is considered to be an animal in ignorance. So the living entities, jivas, they are also rotting in this material world with ignorance. So Rasikananda Prabhu looked into the eye of the elephant and said, Shuno, Shuno, Vohe Tumi, Moto Koribad, Krishna Bhaja Sadhu Seva Koro Nirantar. Oh, madam, the chief of the elephant, listen to me. Worship Krishna and continuously serve his devotees. So actually, this is the instruction given to us through the elephant. Worship Krishna and continuously serve the devotees. So serving the devotee is very, very important. What activity is going there in the spiritual world? Devotees are serving Krishna, devotees are serving devotees. And Krishna is serving the devotees. Vyartha keno mora kori nana dushta karma. Krishna bina ara joto vyartha parishrama. Why are you engaged in these wicked deeds? Without connection with Krishna, all efforts are futile. So this is the instruction to us. We can do any activity. We can be a grahastha, we can do business or work. But we should feel that actually I am doing all this activity for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Mahaprabhu says that if you do our activity, you should think that actually I am doing this for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, for the pleasure of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu says all grahasthas, you should maintain your family for my pleasure, not for your pleasure. Devotional service means acting for the pleasure of Krishna. And if there is no connection with Krishna, all efforts are waste. Krishna japa, Krishna dhyana, Krishna bhajan, ye kanta hoyo bhajo, Krishna racharan. Chant the name of Krishna, meditate on Krishna, dedicate yourself to worship of his feet. This is the instruction Rasikananda Prabhu is giving to us. So when such pastime happen, we should be always alert to know that is the instruction. That instruction we should take it to the heart. Chant the name of Krishna, meditate on Krishna, dedicate yourself to worship of his feet. And all the associates of Krishna in the spiritual world, they are doing only this activity. Sarva Sastra Tatve Kohe Krishna Bhajan Avidya Chodiya Bhaja Krishna Racharan. All scriptures recommend the worship of Krishna. Give up ignorance and worship the feet of the Lord. All scriptures, they recommend only the worship of Krishna. One devotee was telling to Jayapataka Maharaj, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is mentioned as supreme, but in Skanda Puran, I accept Kartikeya as supreme. Then he told you bring Skanda Puran. Then he brought Skanda Puran. Randomly he opened one page and it was clearly mentioned that Hari is supreme. So all scriptures recommend only worship of Krishna. It may be directly. Krishna bina jato deka nahe apanar avidya chodiya bhajo Krishna racharan. Other than Krishna, no one is your friend. From today, you should no longer perform these wicked deeds. So Krishna is our actual friend. That one should take to the heart wholeheartedly. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna se Jivan, Krishna na bhajiya keno moro akarana. Krishna is Mata, Krishna is Father, Krishna is the life and soul. So why are you neglecting his worship and heading towards death? It is actually our instruction. Everyone actually desires in this world to live only with a person, whether it is male or female. They desire to live with one person. Actually, devotees desire to also live with one person, and that person is Krishna. Material life means I want to live with this person. I want to live with this person and making a plan for that. That is material life. Spiritual life means I want to serve Krishna. And if Krishna gives a spiritual body or he gives an opportunity to live in his abode, well and fine. Devotee accepts that. But whether it is material world or spiritual world, the desire is to serve Krishna and to live with Krishna within their mind. So that is the point being mentioned here. Death is awaiting all of us. Moda garva kori ho Krishnera bhajite airavata indra garva nashiyal tvarite kumbira dorilo purve gaja rajavare kumbira nashoi gaja korilo nishtare. Be careful not to become proud in the worship of Krishna. Because after becoming a devotee, sometimes the tendency becomes like I am better and I am most fortunate than others. Technically, it is correct only, but for a devotee, humility is the ornament. So if a person is not able to follow the regulative principles, actually we should pray to Krishna. They should take up devotional principle. And actually Nityananda Prabhu cried to deliver Jagai and Madhai. Once actually one devotee, he engaged in devotional service and somehow or other due to bad association, he drank liquor and then he was lying unconscious. At that time, His Holiness Bhakti Rajendra Nanda Maharaj came there and then tears started to flow from his eyes, saying that he had done some seva to Vaishnava. No one should offend him or talk bad about him or blaspheme him. So that is the mood Nityananda Prabhu is conveying. If some people are not able to follow devotional service strictly, actually we should pray for him. And if someone is able to follow the regulative principles, it means that he has got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And if someone is able to forgive others, it means that he has got the mercy of Nityananda. If a person is not critical of others, in spite of being provoked, he has got the mercy of Nitai. So there is no meaning in becoming proud in worshipping Krishna. Rather, what is the necessity of becoming proud? We can have the feeling of proud that Krishna is my master. And actually, our attitude should be like whether Krishna is pleased in my activity. So there is no personal inner motivation for a devotee. So naturally, pride should not arise in one's heart. And that's why one time in Srirangam, when Parasara Bhattar was giving a class, one stranger came and then he started to blaspheme him. At the end of the class, Parasara Bhattar told his disciples to give a special gift to him. It was a shock to the disciple. Then he told, Krishna Katha means glorifying Hari, and then I have to make a humble position. I didn't make that. I only glorified Krishna. On behalf of me, he pulled me down. That's why I told him to give a special gift. So be careful not to become proud in the worship of Krishna. Hairavata, the elephant of Indra, was very proud until he was attacked by a crocodile and had to be saved by Krishna, thus crushing his false pride. Doyara Sagara Prabhu Deva Bhagavan Chodi Mada Garbha Prabhu Krishna Koro Dhyan. Lord Krishna is an ocean of mercy. Daya Sindhu, Kripa Sindhu. So give up your pride and worship him. Sadhu Bhakya Shuni Bapu Krishna Dehomon Doya Kori Bena Toma Nandera Nandina. If you listen to these teachings of the saintly person, then the son of Nanda will favor you. So this is actually the instruction given by Rasikananda Prabhu to us through the Gopal elephant. And then actually Rasikananda Prabhu, he tamed the elephant and then he named him as Gopal Das. So actually Rasikananda Prabhu, he also gave Harinam Diksha to an elephant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So such miracles Rasikananda Prabhu did that. On the banks of this Suvarna Rekha river, Rasikananda Prabhu, along with his spiritual master Shyamananda Prabhu, did lot of pastimes here. And in Gopi Vallabhpur, Rasikananda Prabhu, he invited lakhs of Vaishnavas for a gathering, for a Nama Sankirtan Mela. So here in Gopi Vallabhpur, we can also see the footprints of Rasikananda Prabhu and Shyamananda Prabhu side by side. And this Vaishnava Charanamrita, so this is from Shyamananda Sampradaya. So whether whoever came, whether even if they had a leprosy, Rasikananda Prabhu personally washed their lotus feet and then he partook the remnants of water. There was a big water pot. Even now that is being maintained because when it becomes half empty, they will fill it with water. Even we can take that Vaishnava Charanamrita there. And Rasikananda Prabhu Samadhi, as we all know that, it is in Remuna. So even in the Samadhi, we can see a tilak. This is the Shyamananda Sampradaya tilak. There will be a black dot in the middle. So Rasikananda Prabhu, as we all know that, at the end of his pastime, Rasikananda Prabhu told his disciples to bring him to Remuna. He did Nama Sankirtan and then he just went inside the altar and merged along with the Gopinath deity. Gopinath is Krishna, Rasikananda Prabhu is Vishnu Tattva. So he merged in the deity, Rasikananda Prabhu. So many pastimes like this, Rasikananda Prabhu along with Shyamananda Prabhu took place. Rasikananda Prabhu, one more pastime also. Actually, when a devotee becomes, can say like when a devotee becomes more popular, influential, then the natural tendency of the people will be to become envious. So one group of people wanted to make a shame, embarrassment to Rasikananda Prabhu. Actually, they wrote a letter so that it can be read out by the king, and in that way Rasikananda Prabhu's defect were all mentioned. But when they opened the letter and they started to read, all the things were like slokas praising Krishna. So it suddenly changed the words. Many pastime happened like this. Innumerable pastime of miracles happened through Rasikananda Prabhu. So now we will be hearing also about the glorious pastimes of Jagannath Das Babaji. Jagannath Das Babaji, we actually keep Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinoda Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji in our altar. Our parampara is Siksha parampara supported by Diksha. The spiritual master of Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj is Nanda Kishore. I mean the Diksha Guru. But we will find that actually after Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinoda Thakur photo is kept. Bhakti Vinoda Thakur is his Siksha Guru. That's why we give importance to Siksha Guru. And then we can find that the Diksha Guru of Bhakti Vinoda Thakur is Bipin Bihari Goswami. But after Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, we keep only Jagannath Das Babaji because the spiritual master of Jagannath Das Babaji, the Siksha Guru is Jagannath Das Babaji. So our altar is Siksha Parampara supported by Diksha. And Jagannath Das Babaji, he gave the Panchatattva mantra to us. Before that, there was no Panchatattva mantra. Panchatattva mantra we recite before Hare Krishna mantra. That Panchatattva mantra was given by Jagannath Das Babaji. And Bhakti Vinoda Thakur identified the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya when he was residing at Swananda Sukhada Kunja at Godrumadvi, because he found a effulgent race coming there. But still, it has to be identified by a Rasika Acharya. So he chose Jagannath Das Babaji. So Jagannath Das Babaji lived up to 146 years, so like 130 years. Actually, his eyelids were totally closed. And then he could be carried only by his servant Bipin Bihari. So his servant Bipin Bihari carried him. And Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, because there was a conflict that whether the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Yogapith is in the western side of the Ganges or eastern side of the Ganges. Bhakti Vinoda Thakur was sure the exact location, but still he wanted one more witness and proof, and that's why he took the help of Jagannath Das Babaji. So Jagannath Das Babaji, when he came to that place, immediately he jumped from the basket and then he started to jump 15 to 20 feet. Gaura, 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 Gaura. So and that is the place Yogapith. So like our Acharya, like Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they did years of bhajan at Vrindavan. But they conveyed the message that the realization, the highest realization, love for Krishna, that they realized at Navadip. So Navadip is the place where actually, that is for Kali Yuga people, that is the gateway to realize Krishna. So Jagannath Das Babaji, he did also many miracles, but that is only for, miracles are for the foolish people, Prabhupada used to say. And in Koladip, his Samadhi and Bhajan Kutir is situated. And Jagannath Das Babaji, once he was surrounded by journalists, used to do some miracle. Actually, pure devotees don't like to do miracle. But still, by the inspiration, he had a stick and then he hit it in the ground, hut, hut, hut. So it means, Hindi means hut, 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 move away, move away, move away. Then the journalist started to ask him what you are doing. He told that actually many goats are coming to the mutt of Lokanath Goswami at Vrindavan, and they are coming near Tulasi Devi to eat the Tulasi Devi. I actually chastised all the goats. At the time there is no STD or other facilities. There is only telegram. So immediately they telegrammed from Navadip to Vrindavan to Lokanath Goswami mutt. Then the reply came, actually many goat came inside our mat to eat the tulasi, but suddenly they all made a U-turn and they went out. Jagannath Das Babaji, he had so much attachment to Dambasi. At that time, during his time, one wealthy person came and then donated 100 rupees. 100 rupees means we can say now at least 10 lakh rupees. Then immediately he told, buy Rasagulla and then feed all the Damvasis except the so-called Vaishnavas, because during his time actually there were pseudo Vaishnavas. So they post themselves as so-called Vaishnavas in the daytime, and in the night they break the regulative principles. But you should feed all the Damvasis, including cows, dogs, cats, pigs. And then one time, when he was eating Jagannath Das Babaji, one puppy came, and then it also started to eat. Then the disciples started to chastise away the puppy. Then he told, "You are not acting in the right mood. It is a Damvasi, so it has full right to take prasad from my plate." So such is the mood of Jagannath Das Babaji. There are many glorious, illustrious pastimes of Jagannath Das Babaji. And we can find like Gaurahari Dasa Babaji Maharaj. Apparently, he looked illiterate, but the highest rasa, love for Krishna, Madhurya rasa, was revealed by him. And here Jagannath Das Babaji, like they were acting, Gaurahari Dasa Babaji Maharaj and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they were acting like Bhajananandis. Our parampara is Goshtianandi, preaching. But still, by their example, how to act, they acted perfectly as an acharya. Their achievement, and we can see how they identified Yogapith, gave the Panchatattva, and then whenever there is a strong preaching for Gaura Katha, they would encourage it. But we find that they were completely engaged in meditation on the glorious pastimes of Radha Krishna through the Siddha Deha Swarupa. And this is also the Bhajan Kotir of Jagannath Das Babaji, Samadhi of Jagannath Das Babaji. Samadhi is very, very powerful. So even in the side of the temple, we can find a small place. That is the exact place where Jagannath Das Babaji used to meditate here. Generally, when devotees visit here, they used to chant few rounds here. This is located in Koladip. Koladip is also a place where just by visiting and taking the dust, one becomes freed from Vaishnava Aparat. And this is the temple of Jagannath Das Babaji, where his personal worshipable deity of Gaura Nitai and then Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Devi are being personally worshipped. And we can see how he is still remembered as a great acharya, identifying Yogapith. Now people, they can, after entering into Mayapur, they can worship the neem tree under which Nimai took birth. And then we will come to Purushottam Das Thakur. He is none other than Damana in Krishna Leela, the 12 Gopalas. Kamsari Sena's son is Sadashiva Kaviraj. Sadashiva Kaviraj's son is Purushottam Das Thakur. And Purushottam Das Thakur's son is Kanu Thakur. So Purushottam Das Thakur is a close associate of Lord Nityananda. He knew none other than Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. That's why they could act as an acharya. Whomever came into the orbit of Purushottam Das Thakur, they got love for Krishna. And his son Kanu Thakur, when he danced in Vrindavan, his ankle bell fell at the Bodhakana, Jasur district. Then he made up his residence there. And even in Chanduri Gram, which is near Simrali, the personal worshipable deity of Purushottam Das Thakur is worshipped. We all know the Dwadasa Gopala of Krishna. So Purushottam Das Thakur, when he was enacting his pastime, they used to get how along with Krishna Balaram, they were enjoying that sweet pastime at the banks of Yamuna. So here, Purushottam Das Thakur was purely assisting Lord Nityananda, preaching far widely in Bengal, because Lord Nityananda was ordered by Lord Chaitanya to preach in Bengal. So he did that. So all these glorious acharyas came only for one purpose, to spread the holy name through Nama Sankirtan, and then for the Jivas to get love for Krishna through this holy name. So many glorious pastimes happened, but as I said earlier, Jivas in the material world, they don't have this Chit Sakti. They don't have Sambit, Sandini and Hiladri Sakti, but these acharyas have come here to give that bhakti shakti, then they feel that existence to be very blissful, and they can serve Krishna consistently, eternally. So such is the glorious pastimes of Rasikananda Prabhu, Jagannath Das Babaji, Madhavindrapuri, and Purushottam Das Babaji. With this, completing this short lecture. If you have any question, comments, or realization, you are free to ask. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for this very beautiful narrations of all of us. We're really fortunate to have you on the call, listening all the Vaishnavas' glories and pastimes, and seeing the places also live. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I request if any devotees have any questions, they can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for your very, very wonderful class. Nice pastimes from so many books of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela you're telling, Prabhuji, and also showing us the Dham and their worshipable deities, which we don't hope to get darshan otherwise. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the question is, if you can tell a little bit about Garuda Pandit. You were telling that he also did some, were not affected by snake bite or something.
So Garuda, we all know that actually the arch enemy is Garuda. Just by seeing Garuda, the snakes gets fear. And there is Nagastara. When some person is bound by Nagastara, Garuda can come and then release that person. Such pastime also happens. So Garuda Pandit, he was close associate of Lord Chaitanya. Then Garuda. So Garuda appeared in Lord Chaitanya's pastime as Garuda Pandit. So Garuda Pandit, sometime when he was bitten by snake, nothing would happen. He would just chant the holy name and then would make others to chant the holy name, like Murari Chaitanya. He would be sometime bitten by snake, but nothing would happen. There are many associates of Lord Chaitanya like that. So Garuda Pandita, we can see how each associate of Lord Vishnu, how eager they are to associate in Lord Chaitanya's pastime. So Garuda came in Mahaprabhu's Leela as Garuda Pandit. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. One more question, Prabhuji. Nityananda Prabhu also took initiation from Madhavendrapuri. Is it that?
Yeah. Yes, Nityananda Prabhu also took initiation from Madhavendrapuri, but some versions say he took initiation from Lakshmi Tirtha, but Gaudiya Vaishnavas, one version accept he took initiation from Madhavendrapuri, like Nityananda Prabhu, then Madhavendrapuri. He took initiation from Madhavendrapuri. Because when Nityananda Prabhu, after 20 years of pilgrimage, he met Madhavendrapuri at Vrindavan. Then he told to Madhavendrapuri that the fruit of visiting all the holy places has got fructified by meeting you. Yeah, that is also mentioned. So yes, Nityananda Prabhu took initiation from Madhavendrapuri.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Such a beautiful class. I have a couple of questions, Prabhuji. One was you were mentioning that the spirit soul attends the Chit Shakti, when we go back to Godhead. So I was wondering if you can give some more details on this. When you say Chit Shakti, but still will be, quantitatively different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Am I understanding that right, Prabhuji? Can you please explain? And also the other thing, and sorry, and also the other question was, you were quoting the pastime with, for Sridhar Swami, and you said something about a lizard eating. Can you please elaborate on that? I couldn't follow that pastime also. Thanks so much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful nectar. Hare Krishna.
So actually, Krishna Prem, what is Krishna Prem? There are jivas in the spiritual world who have love for Krishna, and there are jivas in the material world who are in the position of forgetting Krishna. So when the avatar, especially Lord Chaitanya and his associates come, they give this Krishna Prem to all the jivas indiscriminately. So the Krishna Prema, how can we attain? That is only through Bhakti Sakti. How can we attain Bhakti Sakti? That is only by the mercy of the devotees. So devotees of Krishna are more merciful than Krishna by the mercy of Krishna. So in the spiritual world, they are living in the abode of Krishna. And everyone, they are in material world, I am not this body. I am spirit soul. But in the spiritual world, I am this body. Because the soul and body is the same. And that spiritual body gives bliss. And they are full of knowledge. And their existence also is in the spiritual world. So that's why it is called as Sandini, Samvit, and Hiladini. Hiladini means feeling bliss. Hiladini personified is Srimati Radharani. Sandini is actually the abode. Samvit is actually the knowledge. So the knowledge, living in the abode of Krishna, feeling blissful, a jiva experiences it. Those experiences are there for the jivas in the spiritual world. Because actually, in the spiritual world, there are also trees, there are also buildings, there are also many ornaments. Rivers are there, animals are there, plants are there. Those things are all being experienced. And through that experience, bliss is also felt. But in the that is the spiritual world. But in the material world, we also have our senses. We also have many experience, but it ends up in misery. So it means that Chit Sakti is missing for the jiva in the material world. So we are in a hopeless condition. We are in a helpless condition. We are hankering for pleasure, but we don't know where to get it. So the acharyas come. I have that. We have that method. We have the key. And they give through the holy name. And if we chant the holy name, the holy name also has the potency, but it comes through the devotees. And at a stage like from the stage of Sadhu Shanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava, Prema, that stage is also finally attained gradually. So for a jiva in this material world, to attain that stage of Chit Sakti, which can be also called as Bhakti Sakti, which can be also called finally as a Krishna Prem, is coming to us only through the mercy of these great exalted personalities. So here we are also living the material world. We also have a body. We also have some experience, but it is not similar to those jivas experiencing this in the spiritual world. So that we have to understand that Mahaprabhu has come here to give this Premadan. What is the Premadan? That is the Chit Sakti. It can be called Chit Sakti or it can be called Krishna Prem. And what is the second part of your question?
Thanks so much, Prabhuji. The second question was regarding the pastime of Sridhar Swami. You said the lizard was eating something and then he got to realization. But
Sridhar Swami was a Grahastha. He wanted to take up the renounce order, but he was hesitating. If I take the renounced order, how will my family be maintained? So this was actually haunting his mind. Then this, by the will of the providence, a lizard from the rooftop fell to the floor. It was a baby lizard. It was actually the birth of a new baby lizard. But on the place where it fell, there was a small insect. So the baby lizard stretched his tongue to take that insect as a food. Then he got that realization, all the food for all the living entities are ordained by Krishna. Whether it is elephant in Africa, like Prabhupada says, no, whether we dig up the earth and there are many ants, getting food for the ant and for all the animals, all the living entities, that is given by Krishna. But I am falsely thinking that I am maintaining my wife, I am maintaining my child. Then he got a realization, even if I give up my grahastha householder life and take up the renounced order, my family, my wife and child will be maintained by Krishna. So after this incident, he got the firm conviction, and then he gave up his householder life. Then he took up to the renounced order. So that was the fasting.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, actually, I had one more question regarding the first, question I had, a follow-on, basically. Prabhuji, Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha. So, Krishna has those qualities. He's full in them. And when we say that the living entity, when they go back to the spiritual world, they also, are Sachidananda. So the difference would be quantitative. Am I understanding that right? Even though they both are, Sachidananda.
Yes, quantity. Not only, actually, even for the living entities, after getting liberated, Nitya Siddha and the Sadhana Siddha, Nitya Siddhas are always with the Krishna. So even if we attain perfection, we are all Sadhana Siddhas. Even after we attain perfection and go to the spiritual world, compared to the love for Krishna, the Nitya Siddhas have, their quantity is more than the love of Krishna, the Sadhana Siddhas have. But there is no discrimination there in the spiritual world. Hey, you are Sadhana Siddha, we are all Nitya Siddha. Not like that. They are on the yuka level. Still, love for Nitya Siddha is in quantity more than Sadhana Siddhas. So, not to speak, Krishna has more. In one way, the spiritual world, Krishna likes to be in yuka level with all his associates. Krishna is the only absolute truth, means Krishna controls everything. And one more aspect is that in Nectar of Devotion, it is mentioned that devotional service is greater than God. So it means that actually Krishna is attracted by the devotees' devotion to him. So we should understand in that way. So yes, the quantity of love the Nitya Siddha has is also more than the Sadhana Siddhas. And definitely the Satchit Ananda features of Krishna is certainly unparalleled compared to the Jiva.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful pastimes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for again elaborating for us about this glorious devotees. So, Prabhu, one question I have, Prabhu. This so we can say, like in Tatastha Shakti, there are two categories of jivas. One is Nitya Siddhas, one is what is, Prabhu? Nitya Siddhas and one is
Sadhana Siddha. Sadhana Siddha.
Sadhana Siddha. Right? There's two categories of jivas then, right, Prabhu? The Nitya Siddhas don't. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu, this one, Madhavendrapuri pastime. What does this word Madhava means? We know Krishna. What does that Madhavendra means? What is that, Prabhu? What is the meaning of that?
Actually, you are quoting in which context?
I want to understanding the meaning of the Madhavendra. That word. What is the meaning of that?
Oh,
word?
Madhava, and then
yeah.
The second part you are saying.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Actually, like Ishvara Puri, Madhavendrapuri. Actually, Puri is actually that.
Not Puri, Prabhu.
Madhavendra is a name. it is also Madhavendra. Madhavendra, actually, it also like Madhava, Madhavendra. It's actually the name of the Lord. Puri is the title from where they got sannyas. That at that time, like Puri, Saraswati, that comes. Madhavendra, that also is only the name of the Lord.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol. Okay, thank you. Vancha kalpa taurabhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jivana Gaurahari Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for a nice class.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhagavati Vasudha Devidasi. Mataji, you got initiated?
Yes.
When? Previous name was Bhargavi, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see Bhagavati Vasudha Devidasi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please bless me. Will be
Hare
in the
Krishna.
service.
You are already blessed. Hare Krishna.
What a beautiful memory, Prabhu, you have. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, dear devotees. We have not Rajavanda, Navadvip Mandal Parikrama by her guest Padma Sakhi Mataji.
Mataji, I'm there.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, why did you keep background? Mataji, give me a second. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all so much for staying back. So we are back with our Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. So today we will just see, we will just see introduction. Before we start, we will just, Hare Krishna, take blessings. Before we start, we'll take blessings of Panchatattva, Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Narsimhadev, Shri Radha Madhav, all the assembled devotees, so that we will be able to do our parikrama in a very humble mode. So this is actually the map of Navadvip. We will just go first. Yes, so we will just see first how Navadvip Dham has appeared. So one time what happens? Why Navadvip is very special? Because Navadvip was created by Radharani, whereas Vrindavan was made by Krishna, Giri Govardhan, and Vrindavan was made for the pleasure of Radharani by Krishna, and Mayapur Dham, Navadvip, was made by Radharani. How she made, why she made, we will see. So one time Lord Shiva was very, very happy, and Mother Parvati asks, like, what is so special today? You look very happy. I know usually you're very happy because you always take the names of Krishna day and night. So you're always very happy, but you look very special today. May I know what is the reason? Then Shiva laughs and he says, yeah, they're special. Today I just got reminded of Gaur Leela. Then she will ask, what is Gaur Leela? What is Gaur? Who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu? So she asks lots of questions. And then Shiva also starts to answer, and he will explain he will explain all the pastimes that from Ananta Samhita. Ananta Samhita was said by Ananta Sesh. So we will start narrating. So what happens was, according to Ananta Samhita, actually Ananta Sesh is always saying the names of Lord all the time. So one time Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself will go and give darshan to Ananta Sesh, and he actually says that he's going to come in that Gauranga golden complexion to Ananta Sesh. He mentions. So Ananta Sesh glorifies Gauranga and all the pastimes he mentions in Ananta Samhita. So in that it is said that one day what happens, Krishna was with another gopi called Viraja, and Radharani was waiting for Krishna. She made lunch. She's just waiting, but Krishna was not coming. So she goes in search of Krishna with another gopi. I think Chandra gopi, or I forgot the gopi's name, but she goes with another gopi in search of Krishna. And then what happens now? Krishna could smell the fragrance that of Radharani, like Radharani is coming, because usually I also know, like by fragrance, somebody perfumes and scent they apply, and then we will know the particular person is coming by the smell we can say. So Radharani's fragrance, Krishna understands that she's coming, and he will think, oh, she cannot tolerate if she sees that I am with another gopi, and then immediately he leaves the place, and the Viraja gopi becomes the river. Then, but from far, Radharani could see that Krishna is with somebody else. But instead of feeling envious or jealousy, there's a nice moral here. Like suppose if we see somebody else progressing in bhakti, or somebody is getting name and fame, not only in bhakti, material or spiritually, there is a high chance of being envious. But Radharani starts thinking, what is that so special about this gopi that Krishna wanted to be with her? And she also thinks, like, what is that lagging in me that Krishna, wanted that time to spend with somebody else? So is there any way I can improve myself? Like that, she starts thinking. So devotees also, we also should think like that. What is so special about that devotee? Why is he getting mercy, or why is he getting recognition, rather than feeling jealousy? If we can think like that, we will also progress. So then she will think, she feels very separation from Krishna, because she's not able to see Krishna. She'll feel separated, and then she will be crying. And she will think, I will make a beautiful forest, because Krishna likes forest. I will make a beautiful forest so that Krishna will like, and Krishna will not leave this place. So what will happen? Then she created a beautiful forest. And then first she she planted all the trees like Ashoka, Chandana, Kajur, coconut trees, Shanku Vriksha, Supari plant, people, Babul, Chiku, Gulmohar, mango trees, all these things. Then she wanted to grow creepers, Malati creepers, jasmine flowers, Tulasi, Rose, Kumudini, Gulmehendi, Chameli, all these are mentioned. Nagachampa, Suryamukhi, Nargis, all the flowers she planted. Then creepers are done, flowers are done, trees are done. Then she calls all the rivers. She requested all the holy rivers to come, and then they all came, like Yamuna, Ganga, they all came. They went around the forest, protecting the forest. Then what happened? She also wanted Vayu, nice breeze, not very hot, not very cold. So she wanted that kind of breeze. So she invited that breeze also. And then she was crying, and from her tears, there is a pond that has formed. And in that pond, she was holding a lotus, because in the rivers that she invited, even lotus flowers bloomed. And she was holding a lotus, and it fell in that tear pond of Radharani, and immediately 8 petals came. So the center part of the lotus flower is called Karnika. And so the lotus with 8 petals has come. That is called Navadvip. So 8 petals, and the center Karnika are 9 dvipas. So the 9 dvipas are formed. And it became a beautiful place, forest and 9 dvipas and all the rivers. So next, what happened? Now Krishna, now she's thinking, what should I do next? So she knows that Krishna loves flute. And one thing that most of us don't know is Krishna plays flute very nicely, and he likes his Vamshi flute very much. Radharani is the teacher of Krishna, of flute, like flute teacher. So she starts playing flute, and then that enchanting music, the beautiful way she's playing, Krishna could not resist anymore, and he starts coming. And when he was coming, he sees like, what is this beautiful place? I have never seen before. So then he comes, and then he will say, oh Radhe, you made this beautiful place for me. And he says that hereafter this place is called Nava Vrindavan. So he says that, and he says that he says, I will call all the holy places here and they will eternally be here. So Krishna invites all the holy places, and even till date, all the holy places are there in Navadvip. And he says, because you have created this place for me, I will be here eternally. At least in Vrindavan, he left for some time. He left after some time. But he says here that he's not going to leave this place at all. And he said, those who come here and worship us will get the eternal service in the mood of Sakhis. And he also says Ganga Devi, the most holiest river, will come along with her sisters and divide this into 9 parts. So the Ganga will go like in branches. That's why these 9 islands. So it's flowing around all the islands. You see the map here. So the Ganga is flowing. By her flow, she like divided into 9 islands. It's around everywhere. See, Koladvip, Pritudvip. We will see in our further discussions. So Ganga divides. And then actually, these are the glories of Navadvip. Very, very interesting. He who lives in Navadvip Dham is very fortunate, for he achieves attraction of Krishna. He who happens to go there becomes freed from all offenses. What one attains by traveling to all the holy places is attained just by remembering Navadvipa. In this way, the scriptures sing. He who sees Navadvip Dham gets ecstatic love of Krishna birth after birth. Even one who goes to Navadvip desiring to gain material comforts through pious activities will not take another birth. The Shastras say that one who walks around Navadvip attains the fruits of millions of Ashwamedha Yagyas. And one who lives in Navadvip and chants mantras obtains the sound of Chaitanya as his mantra and easily gets free from Maya. What yogis obtain after the years at other tirthas is obtained at 3 nights in Navadvip. Who committed hundreds of mistakes also will be accepted and immediately relieved from sins even if they visit once. Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept them. So these are the glories. Yes. So then actually we will see. Sorry. See, when Krishna came, he did rasa dance. But when he came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, what did he do? Sankirtan. So both are equally potent. They both are like in this yuga for us. And the difference is rasa dance. If you remember in Vrindavan Parikrama, Shiva also didn't get an entry. He had to cheat and go, like Gopeshwar Mahadev. And then Lakshmi Mother, Lakshmi is not able to enter and she's in Bilva one. But Sankirtan movement is not like that. Anybody can have an entry. Anybody can enter. So no, the rules are not hard and fast rules. And what happens one time in Vrindavan, if you remember, we saw Nidhivan. So in Nidhivan, what happens after their Rasa Krida? What happens after they rested? Next day morning, when she woke up, she says, Radharani says, oh Krishna, I have seen so many forms and incarnations of yours you have shown me. But today in my dream, I saw a form which is golden and you are like a Brahmin. And in ecstasy, you are jumping and saying, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So she says in a confused way. And but Krishna was very casual. He didn't even respond. And then he was playing with the jewel. And when he was playing with the jewel, she sees reflection. And in that reflection, she sees the dream. Reflection from the jewel, she sees the dream. Then she understands. So this is none other than Krishna. So Krishna is going to come in this golden avatar. And he's going to jump and dance saying, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So this is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu has revealed that he's going to come. Krishna has revealed that he's going to come as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And the second time, if you remember, all of our favorites, Gopi Geet, where Krishna is searching for Radharani. The gopis search for Krishna, and then now again, Krishna also searches for Radharani. And then what happens in Imli Tala, this famous pastime happened, where Krishna is waiting for Radharani and Radharani was not coming. And under Imli tree, the tamarind tree, Krishna sits And then he will be saying, Radhe, 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 and he assumes golden complexion. Then Krishna, and then Radharani comes because she feels that, oh, Krishna is feeling bad because I'm hiding and he's not seeing us. And then she goes and calls Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Like she gets very confused seeing him in golden complexion. And then Krishna reveals, he says that when I'm taking your names, I'm getting into your bhav, like Radha bhav. So one day I'm going to definitely come in your bhav. So that is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He revealed couple of times. Krishna took this golden complexion and showed that he's going to come. And then who did Navadvip Mandal Parikrama first? Nityananda did with Jiva Goswami. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ended his pastimes, then Nityananda, and that is the path that we are also taking. Nityananda established this path. And then, so this parikrama ends 9 nights. So 9 days parikrama, so 9 nights. And then, one more glory. So what happens is, Navadvip Dham is all the Vaikuntha planets resting. Navadvip is in the center of Gauramandal, which is 100-petal lotus. So Gauramandal is different. Gauramandal is much bigger. Navadvip is saying 9, but Gauramandal is 100-petal lotus. And these are just 168 miles, 56 miles diameter, because we have to understand they have given in our material study measurements. So what happens? Aishwarya Bhav is dominated in Vaikuntha, Madhurya Bhav in Goloka, and Audarya is seen in Navadvip. So if you have to go understand Madhurya, Audarya only helps. So it's very, very important. And 16 rivers, all the 16 rivers intersections are found in Navadvip. That's how the 9 islands are created, by the intersections of the 16 rivers. And then other important thing is these 9, like Prahlad Maharaj said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, the 9 processes of Bhakti. That is every Dvipa resembles, it shows one process of Bhakti. Like, where is that? Yeah. So Antardvip shows Atmanivedanam, that we will see on day 1. Simantadvip shows Shravanam, Godramdvip Kirtanam, Madhyadvip Smaranam, Koladvip Padasevanam, Ritudvip Archanam, Janudvip Vandanam, Modadrumadvip Dhasyam, Rudradvip Sakyam. So all this, all the 9 islands are showing 9 processes of Bhakti. How? We will see when we are seeing each dvip. So all these holy places are also reciting the Saptapuri. Mathura, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Kasi, Kanchi, Avanti, Dwaraka, all these places are reciting in Navadvip. And also Vrindavan has 12 forests. All those 12 forests are also present in Navadvip. We will see, because when we are seeing the Parikrama, we will see that there is Radhakund, there is Giri Govardhan. First time when I went, I got very surprised. I was not at all convinced. I was asking everybody why there is Shyamakund, why there is Radhakund. So now I understand, because all the 12 forests of Vrindavan are there in Navadvip. Navadvip. So in Gopal Mahavan is there in Antardvip. Madhuvan and Mathura are there on the north side of Pruthukund and Shankazi house. Nandagram is there in Godrumadvip. Bahulavan is there in Koladvip. Giri Govardhan is there in Kulia Pahada. Bhadravan in Janudvip. Bhandirvan in Modadrumadvip. Kamyavan in Mahatpura. Talavan is in Mayamari in Simantadvip. Bilvavan is in Rudradvip. Kadiravan is in Champahatta. Radhakund is in Ritudvip. So all the 12 forests are there in this Navadvip, 9 islands. And the last thing we are seeing is very, very special. So Lord appeared in Navadvip, just like he appeared in Mathura. I think we have seen in Madhuvan, Lord appeared in 4 yugas. Here in Navadvip also he appeared in 4 yugas. In Satyadvip he came as Nrsimhadev, very, very famous temple. We will see in our parikrama. So in Satyuga he appeared in Godrumadvip. In Treta Yuga he came as Ramachandra in Modadrumadvip. In Dwapar Yuga he came as Sri Krishna in Samudragara and Koladvip. In Kali Yuga he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also as Varahadev in Koladvip. So that is the speciality of Navadvip. Tomorrow we will start Antardvip. It's little big and very beautiful place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace is there. Gaudiya Math is there. Our ISKCON Mayapur temple is there. Shiva Zangan is there. So we will see our day 1 parikrama tomorrow. This is just an introduction. Thank you all so much. Yeah, it's time. Perfect.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.